Good evening, everybody. How are you all? So these, first of all, we're going to do the earrings. And I thought we would take a bit of a digression because we're probably going to have some time left to perhaps think about, okay, can we use this in a pendant? Could we use it with a bag charm? So we'll see how we go for time. Maxine is saying, glad it was later tonight, she couldn't have made it. Evening, Jackie. And Maxine says, very pretty. Thank you. So we're going to start off with some head pins. And we are going to form the loop. Now, something that we're probably not used to doing when we're doing earrings is actually having a gap between where the bead is and where the loop finishes, if that makes sense. Normally you fill it with beads, but what you could do if you want to make sure, just thought come into my mind, is if you wanted it equally spaced, you could always put some seed beads on top. Just a thought. Hello Linda, hello June, how are you all? Hope you're all good. We're going to start with these little tiny flowers. I hope you can see those okay. And first of all, so we'll start at the bottom of the cascading flowers and work our way up. So I've got a little bicone that's actually, those are in the bundles I've just put up, and we're going to pop a lucite flower on the top. What you might want to do is you might want to actually load them all at the same time, and to make sure that you cut the same length. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So obviously you're going to need about 1 centimetre anyway to allow for the loop. So I'm using my cutters and I am just going to trim these all the same, and at least then sorry, I'm not even on camera, apologies, I'm in my own little world. Lucite is really beautiful. I mean, it's not anything you know, glamorous like glass, but again, as I said before, you know, don't underestimate the lucite. It's beautiful. Now the ones I've got are actually produced in the UK and they're hand dyed as well, but the first box it wasn't, but this box that I've just done, that's just gone online, they're all hand dyed in the UK, so they obviously come to them in a white colour. So we've got flower on, and I am just going to turn a loop straight away. Normally we turn a right angle. I'm going to turn the loop and just bend that back like so. Okay, so we do the next one. Oh, that's not even a head pin. That's not a head pin. That's my that's my scraps. So Shelley found cutting the same length quite hard when she did hers. It can be, can't it? Just tell everyone my ears aren't level. This is it. Or you just say it's a design feature. So the other thing you could do as well is you could always mark your pliers with a permanent marker as well. So make sure it's flush, hold it in your non-dominant hand and then turn it until it touches. So obviously it's not really a great shape at the moment, so pop your pliers back in and just start to bring that, tilt it back and then bring that back in again. We'll try the other method as well, which is where, sorry, my brain is thinking, have I missed a step? No, I haven't. We'll try the other way. I've had that element again of talking to myself, haven't I? It's quite worrying, isn't it? I'll show you the other element, which is if you're used to doing it a certain way with your earrings. So you turn it, you could turn it at a right angle, about 1 centimetre from the end. Again, you could do it with all the others, so it's turned at the same point. Position your round nose pliers, make sure they're flush, and turn it back. And if that's the method you're used to doing, then you can stick with that. Now these are slightly longer than the ones I did before, so I hope they're going to come out. If not, I will show you how you can adjust it. Don't know how at the moment, but you know, we'll figure something out. Right, let's just flatten that a little bit. I've just realised how totally unmatching I am tonight. But I do not have pyjama bottoms on. Honestly, I don't. It has been done before, as I said last week. Let's keep checking that I'm on camera. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, you know, you make as many drops on there as you want to. And 5. What have you all been crafting? Tell me what you're all up to at the moment. Has anybody got any projects on the go at the moment? Or is there something you're researching? I'm researching something at the moment, but it's not bead related. I want to create an animation of brick stitch which shows the beads and how the stitching flows in like an animation, so that in a tutorial you can actually see. Well, it's not that easy, I can tell you. Not that easy at all, so it might be a little while. Linda, you are in your gym jams, are you? Good for you. Right, we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. So I am going to just lift that to open up the loop, and then I'm going to pop the other one in there and close that up like so. But there's just not enough hours in the day. There's so much I want to do. There's so many designs I've got, not enough time to do the tutorials. So I think I'm just going to have to lock myself away for a couple of days to get things done. So the next one is we're going to open that up, slot the next one in, close that up. I will check your messages in just a second. Right, so open that up, slot that in. So that's forming quite nicely. Obviously, if you don't want such a long drop, obviously you can cut the eye pins shorter. But sometimes it's difficult because obviously you need to allow for the loop. So there you go. Let's put that on the mat, shall we? It's rather pretty. I personally think I would prefer a smaller one now I've done it. If I was doing this for myself, I would probably start again and do another one a bit smaller. But what we'll do is we'll go with this and we will do another colour. I'm just going to lift that end part up of the earring and just hook that in, close that up, and there you have your very cute little earring. I just love the way they fall. They're so pretty. So let's have a look and see what you've all been up to. Trisha, 2 lariats trying to make a matching bracelet, but version 1 was too short, so need to try again. Sounds great. Hope your second one works. Shelley is going earring mad at the moment. We'll never buy any more. Isn't it wonderful, Shelley, that when you discover how straightforward and easy it is, it just opens up a whole new world for you, and a new wardrobe as well, which is great, isn't it? Carol is sat at the conservatory making gemstone chip. Oh, my comments keep disappearing up the thread. How rude of it. Gemstone chip ring trees. Oh, why are my comments keep disappearing? On stones from Cornwall. Oh, how lovely. Do make sure you're all going to share these in our Facebook group. Emma is making loads of different things to do a craft fair in October, making flower bracelets, necklaces, lots of tree of life, spiders. Fantastic. No, there's not enough time, is there? I'd need to give up work and craft full time. And Shelley's just reminded June she needs to make some more earrings. Right, where are we? I think it's every time someone makes a comment, my comments disappear. Oh, Linda has done a lucite flower anklet for going to Spain, so earrings would be good. Fantastic. Now, June has been doing a bit of crochet. I love a bit of crochet. I started making a bumblebee, but again, it's time. I'd like to go back to that if I can. You're loving the colours. That's good. Thank you for putting the link in. Our Linda has put the link in for Beaders of Beads by Rachel, and our Linda's the lovely lady that says hello to us every day, and even if I don't get to comment, it makes my day. It's lovely. It's really nice just to all connect. Hello Barbara, was just in, was it a car boot sale with your jewellery? How did it go? Francis doesn't wear earrings, looking at doing a pendant drop. That's hopefully what we're going to look at as well, Francis. Shelley said, the best thing I've done joining your class at summer school. Oh Shelley, that is really lovely, thank you. I enjoy myself just as much, and I get lots of inspiration from you all too. I can tell you, it's one of the highlights of my year. For Meg, no beading at the moment, working on sashiko quilt. Fantastic. I'm home but tomorrow away, so taking some stitching with me. Some ep and my coronation cross stitch. Sounds like you're going to be busy, but what absolute delight to be able to do while you're away. Made a beaded curtain and started beaded pens. Fantastic. Be sure to share that. Love the beaded pens. I'll be trying these on catch up. I better stop nattering now, hadn't I? And I'd better crack on, because I'm sure you're dying to see some more. I'm going to choose a different colourway now. Let's go purple, shall we? Let's have a look. There's no reason why you couldn't actually. I'm gonna do a couple of colours actually. I'm gonna do violet and purple. This time though, I'm going to do a shorter drop. I hope I've got enough head pins. I'm going to use some different beads this time. I'm going to use some crystal rondelles. These are in the beaders, in the thread in the group. Right, let's move these up here so it's less of a mess. Obviously what you can also do is you could also use shorter head pins as well. So I'm using some, I think they're 4x3 millimeter. So I'm going to cut these down a bit more. And I am going to do the same again and cut them. I'm going to alternate my colours. The other thing I thought would be really nice with this is a bag charm as well. But what we haven't done for a little while is we haven't bounced ideas for a while, have we? What we generally like to do during the lives is come up and share some ideas, because the thing is we all see different things and it really gets our creativity going. So if you look at this and you think, do you know what, I'm really going to try X with this, share it. There's nothing like a silly suggestion, because it might just spark someone to get going, where sometimes we all have a bit of a creativity block, and B, it might be something that others haven't thought about, including myself. Do you know, I wonder, oh, that's got a blocked hole. Do you know, I am wondering whether or not we could use this in bead embroidery. Do you know, I might have a go. I'm just thinking, like, lots of these stitched on with a seed bead with a big collar. How would that look? I might try it on a sample and just maybe draw an oval or something like that. Okay, now I'm going to do the original, which is 1 centimetre from the end, turn it, loop it back, and if it's too far over, just bring it back that side and do it again. If it's too long, okay, you think, right, it's way too long, what you can go in is turn your pliers so they're flat side against, trim it, and then re-loop it. The other thing you could do as well, if you want to, is you could always pop your Lucite flower on there before you turn it. So I can, I can give you guidance, and then you find a way that works for you. It's like that with anything, isn't it? Is that the right colour? Yeah, I think so. We're doing every other. I'm liking the shorter cascade on this one. Trisha said she got some leaves from me. She might try adding those. I love that idea. I think leaves will add a really nice embellishment. Hello Kim, don't worry that you're late, it's no bother. Angel charms with them. Oh yes, of course, I'd forgotten all about the angel charms, popping little wings on them. See, it's things like that that we forget. Now, because we've got loads of time, I've got an idea brewing in my mind. I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm going to give it a bash. Oh, what a wally. I added all the others on as we were going, but not this one. Right, where is the last one? It's this one I want to open. Close that one up. And hook that in. Oops, there we go. Bit more difficult when you haven't quite got as much to work with. It's definitely easier to do it as you go. I do like that. So these are in the boxes as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a cluster of 3, because I've got a little idea to do with our crimping chain, and I was thinking we could have that as a dropper, and then we could have a little section where we have a cluster of 3. I don't know how it's going to work, I've not done it before, but it's just also showing you how designing works as well. Is, you know, start from somewhere, little acorns and all that. 1, 2, 3, 1. I was just thinking you could have them at intervals going up with a bead either side. So let's see how that's going to work. 1. I might have to get up and get some more head pins. 2. That's a bit wonky donkey. Let's just straighten that out. Right, so we've got 3 that side, 3 this side. Have I got any more head pins? I have. Bonus. 1. They are bent, but it doesn't matter because you're just going to rebend them anyway. 2. So yeah, if anybody does get to do this in bead embroidery, show me how you get on. But I'm kind of thinking a burst of colour would be really nice. And I think, like Trisha was saying with the leaves, I think leaves would look really nice with that too. I'm going to make these a wee bit shorter. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Hello, Sue. You're having a snooze. I don't blame you. It's been really muggy today as well. Why do I keep picking up the one that hasn't got a hole in it? Right. So turn it at a right angle. Still waiting for you to do the elephant. I haven't forgotten. I'm very excited about doing that. It's just like anything, it's just getting the time to sit down and design it. But I've got a picture in my mind as to how I'd like to do it. Now Shelley absolutely loves elephants, and we're not going to actually attach those, by the way. We're going to actually use them in a different way. And Shelley challenged me to do a bead embroidery elephant, which I've got in my mind. It's just like anything. Do you know what? I'm just wondering whether or not, change your plan. Let's open that up. I'm going to do them like I would a head pin for these. So didn't need to cut them, did I? Whoops. I should take my own advice, shouldn't I? Cut that. Not do as I do, do as I say, as they say. Right, where's that one gone? 1, 2. Oh, I've got more than I needed. 1, 2, 3. Bit of sisterly love there. Are you doing too much, are you, Sue? I think it's something we're all guilty of, isn't it? I think especially when you're crafters as well, is, you know, we need that. I don't know about you, but that creativity time is your mindfulness and recharging of your batteries. And I find it can get quite, you know, I'm getting a bit irritable when I don't get a chance to put those ideas that are in my mind into practice. So just bear with me, because all will become clear. And like I say, it might not even work out, but I've got this idea in my mind. Oops, there we go. 1, 2. Right, so for those of you that have not worked with crimping chain before, it's a super little thing. I absolutely love it. It's so incredibly versatile. Now, I do have a ring, a jump ring, which I think is way too big, if I'm honest with you, but we'll go with it because that's the one I've got out for now. Or shall we just slide it on the crimping chain? See, I'm having a wee chat with myself again. Right, I'm just cutting it to the required length. Bearing in mind it's going to have a drop with it, with this. Oh no, I don't think we need a jump ring. So I've popped that on the crimping chain. And let's just tidy up a little bit. Now I've got some crimp beads. Where are they? Here they are. That we use for general beading. And I'm going to pop a crimp bead on. And I'm going to position that. It might be an idea to have a tape measure. I'm going to go a little bit further up. And then with your chain nose pliers, in my case I've got bent nose pliers, squeeze that on there. And this is what I was thinking, was pop one of the crystals on at the bottom, then one of these straight on, one of those, and one of those, and then have another one of those. I really like that, but I think I'd be inclined to actually move it a little bit further down. So if I'll show you how you do that. So with the crimp, if you've actually want to move it or take it off, it might not work, but if you squeeze it the opposite way, it moves. Let me know your thoughts. I think that's super cute. So if you like the idea of this, I'll just carry on for a bit and then I'll just do a refresher on how we finish off the crimping chain. Right, so I want this to marry up, so I've got both of my ends together and squeeze that, make sure my head doesn't go underneath my overhead so you can't see what I'm doing. That's not helpful, is it? Oh, missed 2 of the crystals, or 1 at the start, 1 of the crystals, 1, 2, 3. What I'm going to do as well, so that they scrunch up really nicely, is I'm actually going to put a crimp bead the other side of it as well. So to do that, I am pushing that up, try and get them the same side facing. Does that make sense? You want the crimp beads facing the same way if you can. There we go. I think that's so sweet. So then I'm going to do another cluster a bit further up. Do you know the other thing that I think would look really nice with that, just looking at it, is to have a cluster by the side of it as well. So I'm gonna, if you're liking the idea of this, I am going to carry on whilst we're online, kind of go seeing where it takes us, letting me loose, so to speak. Linda says, as crafters, we need to realise we don't need permission to say no to others, and then we can have some creative time without feeling guilty. That's so true. Kim says she loves that on the crimping chain. It looks fab. Thank you. It just came to my mind while I was doing it earlier, and I thought that would look quite nice on that. Emma, when I get an idea, I have to write it down. Oh, absolutely. Or there's a little electronic board you can use. It's been an absolute lifesaver for me. It's free and it's called Trello. And it's brilliant because I find I write them on notepads, right? And I lost the notepad. So it's all right for me writing down my ideas, but I couldn't find my notepad. So what I do is I have it's like a board, a visual board electronically that's on my phone or on my laptop, and I just type them in. Or type in where you've put the design. Yes, that's a good idea. Reward yourself after doing the horrible jobs. Now, I need to just get up and grab a few more head pins. But unless I hear from you otherwise, I'm going to carry on with this. Where's my big bag of... A big bag of head pins. I'm liking that colour combo, so I'm not really inclined to work too much, work any other colours in there at the moment. And I also like these little blue things as well. Whoops, wrong way round. Do you know, I wonder what you could also do is also have some like that as well. Let's try that. Right, cut it. I'm sorry, I am terrible because I do things differently all the time, don't I? And I should be more consistent, but in a way it's good because hopefully you get to see different ways of doing things. So I'm going to put the crystal on the top because I think it's going to give it a bit of sparkle. Yes, let's do a bit of crafting together. You're making a flower necklace while you're watching me, so you're going to have to post what you've made then, Emma. Now, if you suffer with dexterity problems, pains in your hands, for example, you can buy a tool. We have looked at the tool before. Super tool called the looper, one step looper. Now mine has pretty much had it, I think, because it's been passed around a bit and probably used with the wrong wires, so it works but it's not great. However, they are brilliant and they do the looping for you once you've got the hang of it. They're not cheap, you know, they're 20 odd quid to buy, so it's an investment, isn't it? You know, I always think with that sort of price, unless you're going to be getting a lot of use out of it, it's quite, you know, I think it's quite a substantial amount. However, if you are going to be using it and doing lots of looping, it's brilliant. Let me know in the comments if you have one and you use it and if you like it. Barbara says she uses that. Barbara, do you like it, and do you sort of get the use out of it? And sometimes we forget we've got all these tools, don't we? Linda says keep going. I'm in my element here. I'm enjoying myself. Don't look too closely at my loops. Now Barbara loves it, as she says she's useless at making loops and she uses it a lot for earrings. That's good to hear. Sue's got one. Sue, do you use it, or is it giving you some motivation to reignite, so to speak? So we can have 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3. Now, probably what I would have done, do you know what? I'm going to do a bit of changing. If I can, I'm going to take these off, because there we go. But it's good for me to show you this because you can see how to get out of a situation. Does that make sense? You know, if you come across it. So I'm squeezing the crimp beads off, and I'm going to do the same the other side, because I've got this idea in my head and it's not going to work with these crimps on either side. It's sometimes easier said than done. So Sue uses hers, Frances used hers to make some necklaces and she loves it. And I love the eye pin necklaces as well. They're just, the chain just looks so lovely. Her daughter, Barbara's daughter, used it to make bracelets for Argento, and she told me about the looper. Brilliant. Right, this is what I was thinking, is I am going to pop a bead either side of this. Shall I zoom in a bit more? Right, so pop a bead either side of that, and then, so make sure, so I've got that one and that one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that way round. And then I am going to add on, pop this through the chain. Pop that one through the chain. Ah, yes, Meg, I actually forgot about that. There's 2 different size loopers that you can get. Which one do you prefer working with, Meg? And then we're going to do the same this side. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 on the end. What do you think? Too much? Too many now, aren't there? It needs one less, I think. I think it needs one taken off. 1. I think that's better. That one. That one. Right, let's pop a crimp bead on, because I think the crimp bead so Meg finds the smaller looper better because she finds the bigger one is too difficult to do. Is that because the handles are so far apart with squeezing them? Right, bringing the ends together just to make sure they're kind of in the middle. And then I'm going to lift up the necklace, let the weight drop so you get that nice and tight. But what you could always do with this as well is you could always have a couple without the crystals on. But obviously when that's sat on your neck, I think that's rather lovely. So I think this time round I would actually have the flowers, my next cluster of flowers, a little bit closer. Maybe here. Or you could always have some crystals that lead up, but I'm being too indecisive now and we've only got 15 minutes left. So I need to get a little shifty on, don't I? Stop being Miss Indecisive. Right, okay, so I'm just marrying those up and we're going to go back to where we were, but I just think that that cluster looks rather pretty. So I've got that one, so I do another 3. Whoops. But any more design ideas coming up? Anybody sort of getting a light bulb moment as to other things that you could try? Right, there we go. And when that's sat on your skin, that should make those pop out, if that makes sense. Oh, yeah, notice the design feature. That, oh, maybe it's just because of the way it is. No, is it me? No, it is the way I've done it. That's fine. See, I'm talking to myself again. Purple, pink, purple. Missed a bead off. My concentration's going. Must stop talking to myself. Right. Do you know, there was many moons ago when I first started doing my Facebook lives, I would have to prepare everything down to fine detail. And I'm not saying I don't. I prepare what I'm going to make, but I'm really comfortable now with it kind of organically sort of flowing, if that makes any sense at all, which I'm hoping you find a little bit more interesting as well. And then I think what we'll do is we'll do another one, just another little cluster a bit further up. How are we doing? Have we got enough? We've got enough time to just do another set, haven't we? I think. Let's do it roughly the same distance away. Squeeze that. And we're just going to make sure that we marry that up. But it is quite terrifying, I have to admit, when you first start doing Facebook Lives, and it is like anything, you know, the more you do, it can still be a little bit scary, but the more you do, the more comfortable you get. It's really bizarre because speaking to a couple of the presenters of Creating Craft in the past, and you know, when you look at how much TV work they do, some of them are terrified of doing Facebook Lives, which I was really surprised at. But then I guess it's what we're comfortable with, isn't it? It really depends on what we're comfortable with. And I suppose as well, they're going to have more viewers than I am. So I understand, you know, it must be a little bit more, you know, you've got a greater audience to make mistakes to, haven't you, really? But do any of you watch any of the other crafters from Creating Craft at all on Facebook? I used to watch Trisha, so totally Trisha, love Trisha's things, but I just haven't had time to do any making. But I know a couple of you do, I'm pretty sure a couple of you do follow. Yes, that's so true as well, Carol, is you're all friends on here. We've got a really, really lovely group. Some of you I've met, some of you I haven't, but I still feel like I've met you. Because we have a bit of a conversation, don't we? Have a bit of a chat. I feel like you're in the room with me. We are, oh, we've got 8 minutes, like being on Creating Craft. We've got 30 seconds to go. Can you do anything in 30 seconds? We've got a bit more than that, fortunately. Right, so one, oh, I've done too many. No, I haven't. 1, 2, 3. I am cooking tonight. Cooking, I am. But the crimping chain, if anybody wants to buy any of the crimping chain, I invariably keep this in stock. And I do have the little bundles available as well, that were on Create and Craft the other week, that were 3 meters or something like that. I can't remember how much is in them now, but anyway, you can have the bundle or you can buy it separately if you wish. Emma loves the jewellery ones, and I love my craft studio. I like the decoupage type program on Create and Craft. There's a German lady, isn't there? Oh, I can't think what it's called now, but her stuff's amazing. Her decoupage. Emma is asking, do I have a shop you'd love to come and visit? I don't, Emma. I work from home now. I used to have a shop. First of all, I started having a shop when I was in, I never lived in Cheltenham, but I had one in Cheltenham for 3 years, I think, maybe more than that. And then I had the opportunity to get one closer to home, which was actually in a garden centre. But honestly, it was so expensive. It was like I was selling more online than I was in the shop. And when one of our kiddies, not so much kiddies, moved out, she had actually moved back in after I'd converted her room to a studio. However, there was no going back for me, and I love working from home. But we are going to be doing another meetup, which is our social meetup, which is in October. I need to get a little shifty on. I know what I'm going to be designing. I'm just waiting to put it together, and then the tickets will be available. So that's Royal Wootton Bassett. So obviously everybody is welcome. The tickets will be on sale. So this is a culotte, and you push it up from the bottom. This is how you finish the ends off. Pop a crimp bead on. Squeeze the crimp bead at the end. Push the culotte all the way to the end and close that up. Now what I love about these culottes is they're double hold, and I don't need to preform it. I can't stand the preformed ones because I just don't think they're very safe in terms of, you know, dropping off and so on. Where's my other culotte? Where's my other culotte? There it is. So do the same the other side. Well, we're all really looking forward to it. And it was such a lovely meetup last time, wasn't it, Sue? And it's people like yourselves. It was so lovely to meet you and to actually put a face behind the name on Facebook. It was a really nice, relaxing day, wasn't it? And it gets you a chance to meet our lovely team that run our beaders group, our other group as well. Now I need some jump rings. Bear with. How many minutes? We've got 4 minutes. We'll have it done in 4 minutes. Where's my jump rings? Thin rings. I don't want thin rings. Right, these are really too small, but these are what I can grab for now. Really super quick. So what you do with these ends is you'd add a jump ring and a clasp to one. So you'd have your flat nose pliers. So the slit sits at 12. Open them sideways on. Preformed means that the loops are already there. Now the culottes that are sold in a lot of places are just like a half loop, so you have to actually form the loop yourself and pop your clasp on or your extender chain, close that up. I've only got the little loop for the other side. I'll pop an extender chain on after. Sorry, I'm out of camera again. So Linda's just finished a load of earrings and adding chains to necklaces now, so she feel she's achieved something. It is satisfying, isn't it? Is that why you've been watching, Linda? Isn't that gorgeous? I'm really pleased with that. So that's that. You've got those earrings. That's with some of the boxes that some of you've bought already that sold out quickly, and that's with the second ones as well. So those earrings go with that. So what we'll do is we'll just come off the overhead. I have terrible colour combination today. I thought that my top would cover it, and it really didn't, but never mind. I'm sure we're all friends here. I'm sure. Let's put it on a bustier. That's going to look better, isn't it? Let's go for a little, not such a little, but you'll be able to see how it flows. There we are. So I think that sits really pretty. Let's just get you up a bit closer. You've got all those crystals in there. So if you turn it around, don't look at the state of the bustier. But isn't that a really neat finish as well? So then you've got the earrings that match. And if you want to, you could always have like a bag charm where you attach it onto a bag charm as well. You could always have a couple little rows of them as well, couldn't you? And that's one of them as well. I mean, you can experiment. You can even do, you know, you don't have to have the lucite flowers necessarily to do that. You can always use just crystals and things, but I think the flowers just add to it and look really pretty. So you've been doing that. Oh, great tutorial, thank you. You're very welcome. It's lovely to have you joined, Dot. Barbara's tidying my box as it started raining at the car boot, so all got chucked in a box quick. I love sitting and sorting lately. I'm waiting for the novelty to wear off. So Linda, whilst watching me, has done 12 pairs of earrings, 5 necklaces. I just couldn't be asked to add the wires and clasps. You're liking that. I'm so pleased you like it. It's bang on 8 o'clock. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll catch up with you next on Monday for our news and announcements. And don't forget, any makes you do, share them on Beaders group, Beaders of Beads by Vichil. It's lovely to see, especially after watching the tutorials. And I know it's been lovely seeing posts following it. Gives us inspiration. Take care, everyone. See you soon.